Checking 1, 2, 3. Checking 1, 2, 3. Dear Diary, this is part 2 of Cxb kicks ass in the 2005 mayoral election. Now, so again, people know that, my platform was fucking unbelievable. I'll put it up against anything by Socrates or anyone in human history. In fact, I'll put it up against every other political thinker in human history's philosophies, arguments, political platforms, papers combined. Because you can't be smarter than my platform. It's flawless. The foot pedal faucet system is flawless. Saves us billions of gallons of water. Reduces the common cold. Just look up my foot pedal faucet system. Just go look up my 100 innovations for New York City. It's fucking unbelievable. And I could have won the election with any one of the 100 innovations I listed. Example, I can end homelessness. Oh, affordable housing. I said no one should have to pay more than $50 a month for just a bed and a door that locks and a window. If they don't want to. The consumer has no choice in this city. The consumer should have the choice, not the landlords, not the rich. And so it should be your choice. If you're like a lot of people like me who doesn't want high rent and doesn't need a big fancy place, I just need a place where I'm safe, where I can lock the door, where I have a fucking window and a fucking bed. We could do it if we really want to get nice. We could put a loft bed, so there's a desk under the bed. I said I'm going to build hundreds of thousands of units of this $50 a month housing. Right there, guess how many votes I got? I just got 3 million votes on that. It's over. Plus, you also remember I was the only candidate exposing that everything that people were going to still vote for Bloomberg for was all myths. I was double the strongest candidate in history. And, let's see, how much of this do I want to get into? Because remember, I could do 600 hours on just how I kicked ass in the 2005 mayoral election. But I'm trying to do this in a nutshell, okay? I'm trying to document some shit before I hang myself to escape this fucktard world. Let's talk about how I did. Well, I was lucky. I kicked off my candidacy on January 25th. 2005 on the steps of City Hall. There's video of it, et cetera, et cetera. Some clips floating around online. It was kind of fun. And I was on the cover of New York Press, readership about 100,000. Free newspaper, so it's all over, especially downtown. The New York Press, cover story with me. 4-page story written by me for the New York Press. I was very fortunate that the guys did that. Even though they changed a lot of my words and fucked up some of my shit and fucked up some of my statistics too, because they can be real cowards and they don't trust me because I've never ever once let them down. And so my campaign kicked off about as well as it could. Cover story in a paper to 100,000 people, nice color cover with my arms folded. It says, MTA, you've met your worst nightmare or something like that. And everyone, obviously, for the next 2 weeks, every single person I bumped into said, dude, everyone I know is voting for you. Dude, the platform is brilliant. Dude, your ideas are brilliant. Dude, you're brilliant. Dude, you're brilliant. My teachers are voting for you. My roommates, every person I know is voting for you. All my coworkers are voting you. Dude, you are incredible. We're all voting for you. But a funny thing happened. 3 days after the paper hit the streets, I was arrested. Now, I declared my candidacy for mayor before I was arrested, and we did a funny little press conference. And there was some funny shit. I had some funny posters, too, friends holding up funny posters and shit. And there was more reporters than I expected. There was a bunch of different guys who interviewed me. Now, nobody from the mainstream media was allowed to come. Now, they all thought, well, this is the most interesting candidate we've ever seen. Because we know Christopher, he ran in 2001 and was a very impressive speaker and had a very impressive platform. We're not allowed to mention him at all. Because we've all been paid by Mr. Bloomberg, the billionaire media mogul who's paid us with his own cash, which he stole from us, and taxpayer cash, which he stole from us. Anyhow, so the best part about this is in that January 25th New York Press article, cover story, 4 pages. Really, I mean, some of it was wrong. Like these idiots, my editors, Jeff and Alex, Jeff Cohen, Alex Zaitchik. They, for instance, printed 4 giant photos of me throughout the articles, the 4-page article. 4-page spread. And all 4 photos, they used pictures. They took like 20 pictures, 30 pictures of me. Almost every picture all 4 pictures they used, all of me have my arms folded the same way. It's like, wow, that's some real good editing work. I've showed that to audiences and they all laugh. The problem is it got stolen. My copy got stolen. I think I have a couple copies somewhere buried in storage. I wonder, they probably can't ever make that one again. It's not really online either. Some of it is. Damn shame. Well, yeah, if you go look up the 100 Innovations in New York City, you might be able to track it through New York Press, January 2005, but it'll be missing like the photos and stuff. You can see the funny cover on my MySpace. I think it's my MySpace / Prison Songs. There's a photo of that cover. That was the 4th time New York Press had done a cover story on me. Pretty impressive. Thank you very much. Again, that's without trying. Imagine if I put effort into this shit. Holy shit. So now I knew they were going to arrest me because they do this in every election period. That's when I get arrested the most. I always suspiciously get arrested the most during election years. Take a guess why. That's right, to neutralize me, to keep me busy, to keep me tied up, to create restraining orders that hinder where I could go and peer and heckle, etc., or call in radio shows and humiliate the mayor. Other years, they usually ignore me. All their firepower during election years. Plus, it also scares away others from speaking out against this criminal and the prior criminal. So knowing I was going to be arrested, also I did a political cartoon once a week in that paper it was called Asshole Patrol, but they cowered it out and changed it to Idiot Patrol. It's like, no, Asshole Patrol is much better than Idiot Patrol. Asshole Patrol. Also nice that it rhymes. And I'm going after assholes. Idiots makes it sound like they just are made mistakes. No, these people are criminals and assholes. So, dear listener, what happened next is I really hate my speaking voice. I'm sorry. Really hate my speaking voice. In fact, I got to always learn to stop using my speaking voice. Fuck, where was I? Oh, now that marijuana thingy I ate is really in full effect. I'm never gonna fall in love again. So the best part was I put in a photo. I did a cartoon that week of Bloomberg giving his State of the City address. And it's vicious. The cartoon is vicious on every level. And it's pretty cute. I actually take some of his actual speech. And I humiliated him. I even made fun of, he hates how short he is. I even made fun of that. He's paying aides $200,000 a year to put phone books underneath him. It's a pretty funny cartoon. But to hammer the point home, I put me in the back of the cartoon. There I am in the back of the cartoon being arrested by 2 cops for criticizing the mayor. And this cover story, January 25th, 2005, was the most vicious and actually the first anti-Bloomberg thing ever really written, maybe. This was really just exposing all the lies of his fucking house of cards that nobody else would expose. It was the most damaging thing ever written about this criminal. And I did a cartoon showing him having me arrested to prove that that's what was going to happen. And 3 days after it hits the streets, they come to arrest me. Oh, that's this whole story. Have I ever mentioned that one yet? Just to give you a taste of it, they cut off the electricity in my apartment on Pitt Street to get me out without a warrant. They had 3 police vehicles, an NYPD video crew, to get a guy for misdemeanor speech. The charge, as usual, was harassing City Hall. But that's for a diary another day. Again, every minute of my life's been fucking insane. So where was I? So they arrested me. Oh, they cut off the electricity in my apartment to get me out without a warrant. That story is amazing. I think they hit me with bail and da-da-da-da. My editors at the New York Press wouldn't even stick up for me and would not allow me to write a piece about it. Isn't that fucked up? That was really sleazy. I was arrested because of the cover story. There's no other way you can spin it. Everybody knew I was arrested because of the cover story. Sheesh. And because everyone said they were voting for me. So now all of a sudden you have it where all the newspapers, now none of the newspapers announced I was running for mayor, but all of the newspapers, major media, announced that I had been arrested for threatening the lives of City Hall people. Now that was all faked too, because they know what? I'm going to clear my name in 3 years. So what? Whoop-de-doo. Right now, they've neutralized. They didn't neutralize me, but that's what they do with people like Anthony Weiner. It's just a political hit job. They arrest me, and then the newspapers all report that to make people say, "Oh, this guy Christopher Cxb, yeah, he's just a crazy criminal. Yeah. Don't listen to anything he says. No, don't read his platform. No. Don't. You don't want this guy in debates. No, you don't want to hear what this crazy guy has to say. Yeah, you don't need to hear this crazy guy." It's like, no, I fucking kick ass everywhere I go because everything I say makes fucking plain sense. And I'm probably the greatest populist in human history. Thank you very much. And then ironically, the next arrest by Bloomberg that year, remember, I'm running for mayor. I'm on the ballot. I'm on the Democratic ballot in the Democratic primary. And now, remember, nobody on earth thinks more than me. No one on earth has ever thought more than me. I think of so much fucking shit. You wouldn't believe that's why I have insomnia. My brain races all the time. I fucking can solve every one of the world's problems in 3 minutes. Name a problem in the world and I'll already explain to you the solution and how it saves us hundreds of millions of dollars to implement it. Because remember, I not only offered solutions to every problem in society, I saved taxpayers billions. Example, in case you think I'm exaggerating. Example, in New York City, we have a humongous homeless population. They're all over the place, sleeping outdoors at night, et cetera. They're mugging people, pissing and shitting everywhere. The city is the most expensive ghetto in human history. It is filthy here. It is fucking West Calcutta. And now people don't realize it's like, well, homelessness is a problem solved because these people are mentally ill and drunks, I guess. Oh, really? So they wouldn't go home and unlock their apartment if they could? People are like, well, we can't just give them free places. Why not? We did that for the rich. In fact, people don't know any of the facts. Example, when I tell audiences we're spending $800 million a year on homeless services. That's in air quotes. Homeless services. $800 million a year. Now stop for a moment. Stop. $800 million every 12 months? What? Wouldn't it cost less to buy all the homeless people condos? Wouldn't that cost actually less and you'd end the problem instantly? Thank you. All the money is being stolen in contracts by Giuliani friends and and Bloomberg friends. It's just like City Time and all contracting scandals, right? In the 80s, we'd hear about how NASA would pay $900 for a hammer. That was $10 at a store. That's how government, since it's considered nobody's money, the way they run contracts is everyone gets a slice of the pie. Almost every politician does this shit. Almost every one of them. Bloomberg and Giuliani are not unique here. They all do this. It's been this way in every country since time began. There's 1,000 ways to do it, right? So if they repave a street, everyone goes, "Yeah, he repaved the street." Nobody ever asks, "What exactly did it cost, and what did the CEO get paid?" Right? Because when it's not done by the Department of Transportation, they hire private crews to do it. And when all those private contracts, that's why the only reason we're in Iraq, all those private contracts, there's too much money to be made. And so with homeless services, everyone would say, he's right, $800 million. I said, Bloomberg has spent, as of right now, Bloomberg has spent over $6 billion on homeless services. Think about that. We have 40,000 homeless people in this city. That's the number that everyone agrees on. 40,000 homeless people. 40,000. Now, my hometown is 30,000 people total. Now, 40,000 homeless people. But $6 billion. You're telling us you couldn't find places for 40,000 people for $6 billion? Come on, that doesn't pass any smell test, you fuckers. But then I would just go on and on because there's so many more facts I'm going to spare you right now. I said, ladies and gentlemen, wait, I'm going to tell you a little secret, and this is top secret. This is top secret, even though some other news media outlets have reported this besides me. But I was the first one who broke the scandal in 2000 because I worked for the census, and I found this out by doing census work and having to be a detective and finding out why some apartments appear vacant all the time in public housing. It turns out, I said, ladies and gentlemen, I can end homelessness by the end of this week And it is only going to cost you negative $800 million. Oh, wait, no, that's $800 negative million per year in perpetuity. The city is warehousing 20,000 empty apartments in public housing. These are apartment units that you and I own, public housing. 20,000 of them are being kept empty by Mayor Bloomberg. And Giuliani started the policy. The idea was part of it was a gift to the real estate industry because you got to get rid of affordable housing units. I mean, that's one reason why there's a deliberate war, and you guys haven't noticed this, a deliberate war on affordable housing in New York. People losing their stabilized apartments everywhere, illegally. It's all illegally done. But Bloomberg and his goons working for the real estate industry because they figure there's not enough money to be made in affordable housing. And so they removed 20,000 units from public housing. And again, even like Scott Stringer and other politicians have complained about this too, after me, of course, 5 years after I started reporting it, because I saw it firsthand. And I would talk to the neighbors and they'd say, oh, see, now I'm digressing again. This is not what we're supposed to be talking about. Fuck. But this is important shit. With the homelessness, I'd have to go be the repo man, and I'd knock on all the other apartments and say, like, hey, do you guys know what's going on in 7B? And they'd be like, 7B has been empty for 6 motherfucking years. I'm like, what? Why has 7B been empty for 6 years? And they'll say, because the motherfuckers claim that it's being renovated for handicapped people. But it doesn't take 6 years to motherfucking retrofit motherfucking apartment for handicapped. They're warehousing that shit. And I interviewed hundreds of people in different buildings, different apartment units, and everywhere. And the same story every time. They say that fucking unit has been empty for 5 years. And it fits. Remember, if you knew as much about Giuliani as I do, you know that completely is his entire MO. He got all his plans from the Manhattan Institute, or like a Rockefeller-funded fucking right-wing think tank. And they have all these stupid ideas. And one of their ideas, of course, is if you give charity to those damn niggers, well, they're never going to pick themselves up. You know what I mean? That's their philosophy. Oh, it's the only reason these losers are poor is because they're lazy. So we got to take away all their rights and all their affordable housing, so as they can sink or swim. We're going to make men out of them. That's kind of the pretense they claim, although it's not true. It was a direct gift to the real estate industry. Because now these are a shitload of people. Remember, when I say 20,000 units, we're talking 40,000 homeless people. I didn't say 20,000 beds. These are 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms. So we could end homelessness tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And it would cost us negative $800 million this year. Who's with me? Negative 8. And then we have to figure out what to do with the $800 million I just saved you. And that's just one example of many more. Because remember, we're just talking about the 20,000 units of public housing that you and I own that are sitting empty right now. They're warehousing that. Wait, there's more, but wait, there's more. Because remember, you have no clue the depth of this corruption. And I sadly do. I know it all. And that's one reason why I want to die, because it's like it eats me up inside to see this fucking superhuman evil, and they get away with it every fucking day. You people don't know the facts, and you're lucky you don't know the facts, because you'd want to fucking murder these motherfuckers. The shit they're doing is fucking murderous and fucking international crimes and national crimes, and they get away with it every day by just bribing the right people with your fucking stolen cash. You forgot, I bet, another fact of warehousing 20,000 units of affordable housing. These people were paying 30% of their income. So if you're working at Wendy's, you're paying 30% of your income. You see, that's more reasonable for these people in the public housing, right? It's not like they're living in mansions. And these public housing units are not that good, because this is where a lot of crackheads and other people live, and people who hate their lives because they live in the projects. And so they drink and they do crack. And it's not subsidized housing. The fucking right wing will tell you, oh, it's what fucking you do when you do fucking public housing. It's like, no, Stuyvesant Town on 14th and 1st Avenue was always white people public housing. Clean, neat. They can't say public housing doesn't work. They'd have to say, all right, it does work if it's for white people. Okay, one down, one to go, assholes. Wait, let's back. So let's go. Let's try and move on here. But so it turned out we were losing tens of millions of dollars additionally in lost rent by them warehousing those 20,000 units. We were losing, the taxpayers were losing tens of millions of dollars a year that these people were paying in rent. So what would happen is, like, when an elderly black woman dies, that apartment would be taken off the rolls. Not available. Now, there's a 5-year waiting list to get into that public housing. You understand? There's literally 0% vacancy ever because there's a 5-year waiting list to get into this housing. And they just take it off the rolls and pretend it doesn't exist anymore. Unfucking believable, Giuliani. And people I know hundreds of thousands of facts like this about Giuliani and Bloomberg that most people don't know. And you people still don't trust me. People think I exaggerate this shit just because you don't know the facts. Oh my God. Remember, there were a lot of assholes like me in Germany saying, you guys don't know what these fucking Nazis are doing or gonna do. And everyone went, yeah, right. Oh, the Nazis, are they murderers? Or the Nazis killers? Oh, darn those Nazi killers. And then when it was a little late, they went, oh shit, we should have listened to that guy. So, pardon me. Oh fuck. We still got a lot to talk about. No, I think maybe we can do this in the next 5 minutes. Back to the election. Every issue you can think of, I improved, and I saved the taxpayers tens of billions a year. And I went deep into the details. And so they blocked me from all the debates because in 2001, when I was on the Green Party ballot, I kicked ass in every single debate. And they were like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Example, I have a ponytail. And they're like, no one's going to take the guy with the ponytail serious who's dressed like he's dressed like a musician. And so my opening statements, because remember, I do have long hair and a ponytail. People are going to automatically attach radical to me. So watch what I did because I'm the smartest motherfucker ever. If I was allowed to speak in public at debates and stuff, my opening statement, I'd say, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing you'll notice about me is I do not look like a typical politician. Can anyone guess why that might be? And I'd be like, that's right. It's because I'm nothing like these typical politicians. These same robots you've heard tell you all kinds of promises your whole life, and they've never come through. You've tried it their way for decades. It didn't work. Now, you're right. I have a ponytail, for instance. I don't look the part. I look like a young Thomas Jefferson. And they immediately all go, they picture Thomas Jefferson and go, well, that's right. He had a ponytail. And I look like, and he had a pointy nose like me. And I say, listen, if you don't want to vote for the young Thomas Jefferson, then you don't vote for the guy who looks like the guy you voted for last time. I said, vote for the typical looking politician. Try it again and again. And then what I would do is I'd say, now look just to make it clear, everyone, I brought some nickels. And I pass out nickels into the audience. I say, please pass those around. If you take a look, you'll notice I look a lot like a young Thomas Jefferson. And everyone would laugh. And they'd look at it and go, he's right. And so I turned what should have been a negative, my ponytail, me looking like a counterculture troublemaker, I turned it into a positive. I looked like the young Thomas Jefferson. And I would say that several times to burn it into their motherfucking brains. This is why the right wing hates me so much and the corporations hate me so much and I get arrested so much and they fuck me over in so many different ways and rob me so much because they say, Giuliani said I was sick and dangerous. They're right. I'm the most dangerous motherfucking activist in this country. But let's not talk about that. But we saw just what I did in this election was fucking unprecedented, even though I didn't win. I was banned. But so in 2001, I destroyed, and there's videos of these things. I wish somebody would put this shit online because I don't have access to any of it. All these videos I was in, these debates where the audience was cheering me after the opening statements. And now, grant you, it's not hard to be the most impressive candidate in American history. Who's my opponents? Fucking Alan Hevesy. I'm debating Mark Green, Freddie Ferrer. I've debated Anthony Weiner. I mean, come on. None of these people are very smart, and none of them can tell you the truth because they're part of this fucking machine, and they have to play it safe to keep their jobs. So in 2001, I was allowed in a lot of the debates. 2005, they would not allow me in the debates. The same people who knew me and loved me in 2001 now had all put an official blacklist on me in 2005 because the game had totally changed and it was like nothing America had ever seen before. We had a billionaire media mogul stealing, shattering all spending records, of bribing people with tax dollars. Example, most debates are done by good government groups. And a lot of those good government groups get a lot of their money for their rent and their phones and their salaries, these good government groups. Fighting for strap hangers or fighting for women's rights or whoever they are. They were all getting contracts, funding, by Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire mayor, who would sometimes give them money out of his own stolen funds and more often would use our tax dollars to grant groups that would have a say in the next election. Now, that's kind of a conflict of interest, but it works. Every single group broke federal law because they couldn't legally, by law, bar me from the debates. I was on the ballot. And they were nonprofits, and so they can't discriminate. You see, they can't keep some candidates out or have a debate with just a couple candidates. That's a violation of their tax status, and they know this. That's not an open secret. That's very well known. And they would all ban me from the debates, violating federal law because they knew they had the billionaire mayor on their side, and he was going to spend record amounts of money to try and steal this 2005 election. And so they all illegally barred me from debates. Now, that was pretty infuriating, and I crashed most of them. There's a lot of great video of me crashing debates. Contact the Raul online. The Raul is his name. He's got tons of video. He videotaped me at most of these debates. And they were about to start the debate. Anthony Weiner's there and a couple other Democrat clowns. And right as it's about to begin, I'd stand up in the front of the room. I'd have a hat on, some disguise. I'd take it off. I'd stand up in front of the room and I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, the debate you're about to see is fake. It is not. They are not allowing any opposing viewpoints. My name's Christopher. I'm on the ballot, and I'm not allowed in this debate because I'm going to tell you the truth while these 4 government robots who've been in government their whole lives and have not made your lives better are going to tell you the same shit you've heard your whole life. Vague shit like, we need more affordable housing. And vague shit like, we're going to help the schools. Vague shit like that. You're not going, and the guards would be grabbing me and I'd say, they are not going to allow you to hear actual solutions or ideas and blah, 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 blah. I'd have like a short little spiel planned out. Because remember, what we did is we had flooded the audience, me and my friends, would flood the audience. They would go into the place before me, and on every single seat and every single person in that room would get a little flyer from my website, the 100 Innovations for New York City. And it would begin, hey, would you like free subways? Hey, would you like lower rent? Hey, do you think the head of Con Edison should not be able to get $4 million salary since he's getting money from you against your will and you have no say? Blah, 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 blah. And so couple little different bullet points like that, and I would have my website. Done. Game over. Game over. Anything these clowns are going to say on stage is not going to match anything and right on that sheet of paper. And it's not even interesting what these assholes are saying. Don't take my word for it. The press would always say, we got 4 Democrats running for mayor, and none of them are interesting. They're boring as shit. And they were. They were boring as shit. Bloomberg, also, one of the most boring candidates. People don't like to cover him. He's a boring guy. He's not interesting in any way. He has no charisma. He doesn't say anything. Trump is interesting at times. Even some of the biggest idiots are interesting at times. But Bloomberg is just a fucking boring, stupid asshole. And plus, they're not allowed to write about anything scandalous about him because it's against the rules, since they gave record amounts of tens of millions of dollars to each media outlet. And we'll do one more part. We're almost getting to the election. End of part 2.